attempted to record this video like 3 or 4 times, and I always catch myself rambling. So let's try to do it one more time, and I'm gonna try to put this together with minimal rambling. Should you start a dumpster roll-off business? This video is brought to you in part by Ghost Energy Drinks. Not really. Okay, in all seriousness, there's not going to be any dumpster roll-off trailer footage in this video. This is just me talking, but I'm going to try to hit on a couple key points. If you are in the market for starting a dumpster roll-off business, some questions you should ask yourself is, first off, trailer or truck? And by truck, I mean like a cable truck or a hook lift. I have a Horizon 16-foot trailer, and I have all 16-foot bins. They're like 18 cubic yards, and then I have one 14-foot container, which is a 13, almost a 14 cubic yard container. It's a PJ roaster. I'm a little different than everybody. I did not start my business to go into the dumpster roll-off business. My business, I own a roofing and siding company, as you can tell by the channel, and my dump trailers were getting old. They are old, and I wanted to phase them out. The roll-off trailer is one set of tires, one battery, or one set of batteries, one hydraulic system to worry about, one registration fee, one trailer to carry insurance on, versus having 4 dump trailers. That's 4 sets of tires, 4 sets of batteries. I mean, it's for everything. 4 registration fees, 4 insurance, 4 different insurance policies. And then you've also got to worry about thieves. That's 4 trailers to worry about somebody stealing. Whereas with the roll-off trailer, it's just one trailer and however many bins I decide to buy. Yes, a bin can be stolen, but you've got to have the equipment to do it. I still use my containers for roofing and siding. That is the reason that I bought them. If I had no intentions of roofing and siding with these containers, I'd have spent the money on a truck. And by truck, I mean a cable lift truck, or a truck with the hook loop. I'm not too familiar with them, with the terminology, but I guess it's got the arm that comes off the back and picks the container up. It's a hook loop. There's 5 or 6 different names for them, I'm sure, but you get the picture. If I was gonna buy, that's making that a full-time job. Now, my company, my SRS Dumpster Rentals, which I have thus started, is a full-time job with 7 containers. It all depends on how much you want to turn. I can rent 7 containers by the month and make decent money, keeps them around worth having, and I change them out, a couple times a month. Or I can turn the same container 3 or 4 times a week and do that across 7 containers. I can do 20, 25, 21 change outs a week. So, I mean, it all depends on the area you're in, the market for it. There's a really good market in my area. I can do long-term stuff, or I can do short-term stuff. Short-term stuff, not stuff, rentals. So back to the question, truck or trailer. if I was doing it full time, and if you want to do it full time, like this is, you're only gonna do dumpster roll-offs, you want to become the next waste management GFL, I would recommend buying a truck. For what you would have in a trailer, a nice trailer, and say 5 or 6 bins, you could buy a used truck. It's probably going to have a little bit of miles on it, but those you know, well, I say Detroit, you know, those diesel engines in some of the, you know, depending on what kind of truck you get, a Mack or Peterbilt or Freightliner, you know, something along those lines. I mean, you could get, you didn't even have to get anything like that. You can get like a Chevrolet Kodiak, or like what I'm driving. I have a Ram 2500. You could, I mean, I'd step up and get the dually version, the 3500. But you could take and put one of those systems. I think they have, it's called a switch and go. I've heard a lot of people talking smack about those. I don't know. But, I mean, you could take and have something like that mounted to the back of a truck like mine. But a truck with, you know, a used truck is going to run you, I'd say, somewhere in the $50,000 range. You probably won't get quite as many containers. You might only get a truck with 1 container, a truck with 2 containers. But a standard rail container, I see them all the time on Facebook Marketplace for, you know, you get some that need a little bit of, you know, weld work. It's got some rust holes in them for $1,000, $1,500. I see some, you know, some nicer ones. They're beat up, you know, got some dents in them, you know, for $2,500. And then I think there's places out there that'll build them, you know, your size, your dimensions, how you want them, for between $3,000 and $4,000. I can tell you, you are not gonna buy, and that's brand new, you're not gonna buy a brand new container for a trailer, especially from the manufacturer, like from Horizon, for that price. The trailers that I have, or the bins, the containers that I have purchased from a distributor from Horizon, I think their cheapest one is like $6 grand. And then if you step up to the HD model, which is it's got the single back door versus the barn style back door, I mean, those are $75 to $8 grand a piece. I have 2 of those. That's a story for another time. I also have a used container that I purchased, and even used is a PJ Rollster. It's not a Horizon name brand, but it's the same rail system, so it fits. It's a 14-foot container, which is 13 or 14 cubic yards, something like that. I bought that off a marketplace. I had to drive 2.5, almost 3 hours to get it, and I still paid $4 grand for it. So the trailers with the proprietary 60-inch rail, something that's not standard rail, those boxes are going to cost you a little bit more money. Now, if you're like me and you own a roofing and siding company, or, you know, I don't know, a construction company, and you just need something, you know, you want some containers to put on your job sites, trailer is definitely the way to go. You know, you don't need that big truck, you know, that you potentially got to have a CDL for, and depending on the GVWR on your truck and trailer and all that stuff, you could have that with a truck and, you know, truck and trailer. But if you are a construction company, you know, and I say construction because that's the industry I'm in. If you own a construction company and, you know, you're tired of dealing with the guy that can't keep them changed out, and, you know, you've done some cost factoring, and, you know, it'll pay for itself over, you know, the course of 15 years, you know, you look at it, then, I mean, hey, by all means, a trailer and boxes are the way to go. If I had to do it over again, looking at how saturated the market is, I'd probably bought a used setup. Don't get me wrong, I got a good deal. And I look at the fact of my equipment has a factory warranty on it. And with me, I'm a believer in that. And I am sorry about the ding, ding, ding. There's something going on with my brakes and brake control and all that stuff works for the trailer, but it's got something to do with the lights. It says, like, my lights are on, but it says check trailer wiring. So I you bought a truck, you're pretty serious about it. If you're pretty serious about it with a truck, you're probably going to need, I would think you want at least 10 containers. With a trailer though, so most of what you see online is a trailer, and they've got multiple outlets that sell them. They offer a trailer and 2 bins, or a trailer and 3 bins for, you know, 30, 32, 35,000, 36,000. I've seen them from the 14-foot trailer with 3 bins. Right now they're running some Christmas specials at different places. I've seen them as cheap as 25 and 26,000. And then there's a place that's local up in Wilmington that sells them for, I think they've got, is it Big Tex and then PJ, and they market those for, I think it's like 36,000. That's 14 foot. That is, it's kind of like pricey. It's pricey when you look at the fact you can get on one of these roll-off pages on Facebook, and you can find somebody within a 2 or 3 hour ride from you, 4 hour ride from you, that is selling their less than year-old setup for a fraction of what they paid for it. I've seen, there's a guy on Marketplace that's selling a Texas Pride trailer. This is just local to me. Texas Pride trailer with like 5 or 6 bins, and I think he was asking like $30,000 or $32,000. That, I mean, it's used, granted, but it's only like a year and a half old. I mean, as long as it's in decent shape, that's a good deal for the money, because you're going to spend $30,000 or $35,000. Well, I mean, I don't know what the Texas Pride would run you brand new, but I can tell you with my Horizon 16 foot, I paid it was $31,000 with the spare tire. It was like $31,250 is what I paid for the trailer and with a spare tire, and I got 3 bins. It's 16 foot long. So that is, you know, if you can get similar trailer with slightly used, and you can get more bins, it's worth buying you. Something else to look out for. The trailer, and a lot of people are, you know, oh, I'm getting a trailer because, you know, the financing's easier. A lot of those loans for, you know, where they say they'll finance you and all this and that, or it's cutthroat. It is a subprime loan, high interest rate. I mean, you know, you're looking at it as, oh, you know, I'm gonna rent this thing out 6 or 7 times a month, and I'm gonna make that money back. Well, I mean, you got to buy insurance. You've got to have business insurance. I mean, you got to have, you got to take into account when things break down. A lot of wear and tear on the truck. It's not all just, oh, I'm gonna go rent it out and I'm gonna make 20 grand a month, you know, free and clear. No, that could be further from case in point. My trailer is about 6 months old, and I started having issues out of the battery, or the batteries, a month into it. Brand new Continental batteries. I bought the trailer down in Georgia, and I probably could have, you know, finagled something and, you know, got the batteries replaced, but, you know, they'd have probably told me, oh, well, you got to bring it back to Georgia, so I didn't even bother with it. So things do go wrong, even in a brand new unit. The good thing is, at least with the trailer, the warranty that they put on like the trailer and the bins and stuff like that. My bins were, and I'll post a separate video, but my bins were messed up from the factory, and there were the 3 bins that I initially bought were barn doors, and they would not close. There was a big gap at the top, and it's where they had been stacked on top of each other. The sidewalls were pushed out, and the only way to fix it was to push the walls back together, which would have compromised the steel. And so they replaced 2 of my bad bins, or of my new bins that were bad, and then I got option to purchase the 2 bad bins, which I did, and I was able to fix them. It's just now the warranty's null and void on those 2 bins. So yes, even on brand new, you know, a brand new unit, stuff does happen. I've said it once though, and I'll say it again, don't get sucked in to financing because you think that is your only option. you know, through the trailer manufacturer. When I bought mine, I did finance a portion, but I didn't do any financing with the trailer manufacturing place. I have my own financing, outside financing, with the bank that I bank with, and I had a hefty down payment. And in the time frame that I've had, in the 6 months that I've had, 5.5, 6 months that I've had the trailer in the containers, they've paid for them. So I'm guilty as charged. I feel like I've done nothing but ramble yet again, but I did get some good stuff in this video. So we talked a lot about the truck, and I mean, really, that is the truck versus trailer. That is the first step. You know, if you're going to, you know, if you're like me, you need the trailer fits your current business model, then that is the route that I would go. If you are going into this as a new business and you're going to rent out dumpsters and you want to become the biggest dumpster rental, you know, company in the area, you really want to think about it. You're going to put a lot of miles on that pickup truck pulling a trailer. You really want to think about getting you a truck, you know, a cable truck. I see a lot of guys that are taking trucks like mine, the 25 and 3500s. They're buying a trailer, whether it be used or new, I don't know, but they're taking the hydraulic and, you know, lift setup off of the trailer and they're fabbing it to a truck. If you've got the know-how and the expertise, you know, you might can save yourself some money. At the end of the day, you're still looking at, you know, it's a winch system versus having that, you know, cable lift truck with the big beefy, you know, 30-some thousand pound winch on it like you see on a rollback, or a reeving system, or, you know, something along those lines. So we talked about truck and trailer. There again, that's the first step. So think about what you want to do, where you want to be in 5 years from now, and that is what I would base my decision off of. Where do I want to be in 5 years? I think that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've got any questions, reach out to me here on YouTube or Facebook, SRS Dumpster Rentals. And as always, y'all stay safe and God bless.